Welcome. It's Domain Dave again from CheapWineFinder.com with another podcast for a wine review we put on the Cheap Wine Finder website, like we always do. And today we have a wine. I'll tell you what the wine is, and we'll tell you all about it. Sun California Chardonnay 2021. It's from the Wagner family. That's Caymus, and the winemaker is Charlie Wagner. And he's the guy who made Meiomi wines, which he sold for $250 million. That's with a B. And this is his next project after that. I think they had a non-compete thing, but this is his wine. I forget. Someone told me a weird story. I don't know. I don't know any of the details. But they're still making wine, and this Sun is their wine. And it's he has a Chardonnay like we have here, and a Pinot Noir, which I think we did a couple of years ago. I'm going to take a sip of this. We're going to talk about it. The Wagner family seems to hit home runs all the time. They're always creating really, really good wines. Caymus has been a staple in Sonoma, and I think in Napa for a long time. Meiomi was a ridiculously big hit. And now we have this wine, which is a taste of California. Let me grab the bottle and I'll tell you a little bit about it. 52% of the grapes came from Monterey County. 45% of the grapes came from Solano County, which is southeast of Napa Valley, kind of over by Clarksburg. It's kind of like happening. It's starting to happen, but it's in the North Coast, but it's the one you never hear about. And San Benito County, which is inland from Monterey, and it's it's all valleys and it's all mountains, and the coastal waters from the Monterey Bay, not waters, the air comes in and keeps it cool. And I think they do like 2,500 acres of grapes there, and like in Monterey there's like 35,000. So there you go. And there's only like 3% in this. Before the 2021, they were using Santa Barbara grapes, and they switched out to San Benito. So I haven't tasted the 2020 with the Santa Barbara grapes. I don't know what the difference is. But this is kind of like one of the ways I like to see value price Chardonnay made. And the reason why is they brought these three different areas in, like Monterey is coastal, and it's got all sorts of different different climates up and down the coast, and here's more of an inland, but still has coastal. And Solano is in the delta from the bay, San Pablo Bay, and that's kind of it. So all these three grapes have different characteristics, and then they. Part of the grapes they fermented in stainless steel tanks. Others they fermented in neutral oak barrels, other in new oak barrels, and they put that all together. And some of the wine had malolactic fermentation. That is something that happens in red wine all the time. I'm going to take a sip of the wine. Malolactic fermentation takes the natural grape inside the wine, the grapes that are tart, and turns it into malolactic, lactose, more rounded. And usually they do that to have the grapes meld better with oak barrels. So this one's got, some of the grapes have malolactic, some of them don't. Some of them have oak barrels, some of them don't. Some have new oak barrels, some of them don't. The three different areas with three different types of really qualities of the grapes. So this is a wine that has complexity because the winemaker said so. Single vineyard wines can be amazing. When everything goes right, they're magic. But everything doesn't always go right, and the single vineyard wines tend to cost a fortune. But if you have a good winemaker and he puts all the complexity together by careful selection and careful techniques, you're going to have a good wine year in and year out that's got complexity, and you're creating your complexity. This is like a good chef in at a restaurant creating something that's great to eat. Like, you can get a perfect piece of meat or whatever and just like do almost nothing to it, and that's fine. But most of the time they're doing something to what you're eating. And then here I go. I'm going to take a sip of this again. It's delicious. It's got tons of flavor. I mean, if you don't like oaked wines, well, there's some oak in here, but there's also some not oaked in here. I mean, it's, if you don't like wines that are simple, well, this is complex. You want wines with length. You want a wine that'll kind of challenge you to come up with, what am I tasting? Yeah, I mean, this wine does it. And I think I found it for $13.99 on sale. It's not a super inexpensive wine. There's enough money in there that they can do the production techniques needed to give the wine complexity, because it takes time and money to get things right. 2021, this has the most aging to it, and you probably wouldn't want to put this away for anything longer than 5 years, and you probably wouldn't want to put it away because you're going to drink it. So this is CSUN California Chardonnay 2021. I'll say that a little slower since I ran through that. CSUN Chardonnay California 2021 from the Wagner family and Charlie Wagner, who made Meiomi. And you can like Meiomi or you don't like Meiomi, but you got to admit the guy knows what he's doing. So that's it for me, Domain Dave. We're going to have a sparkling wine coming up next. I just went to checked out the local major wine shop, and the wine pickings were sparkling wine pickings were kind of off, and the prices were way up. So we're going to try to find bargains out there that you can find. So that's adios from me, Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. Like us where you like your podcast, like I always have to say. And like I said, we'll have more coming up. We'll have a lot coming up because it's the holidays, and we have some wine to talk about. So adios. Keep it cheap. Bye-bye.